Again here today, Nick Thielen jumps it up for Bellarmine. Ahamadou Jawara for Stetson. Teams switch colors. It's been the thing across the A-Sun. Bellarmine in the scarlet today. Stetson in the white. Underway from Freedom Hall. Thanks for being with us. And the Hatters control the tip in white. Entering play at 2-3 here in the A-Sun. Stetson is split each of the first 2 weekends at A-Sun play. They're led by Rob Perry, who scored 10 points last night, coming in their leading scorer, averaging 14.5 a game, the sophomore from Orlando, not far from DeLand. This is Stefan Swenson, 4 to shoot. They go into Jawara, and Claycomb on him early, couldn't hit over Claycomb, and Pedro Bradshaw the rebound for Bellarmine.
And we saw a lot of that last night with Bellarmine playing very good defense and starting the same here today.
Collision and a blocking foul. Claycomb trying to take the charge, and they get him for his first foul early as Christian Jones drove it. And you see Claycomb, the reigning A-Sun player of the week. Pedro Bradshaw leads this Bellarmine team, averaging 13 points a game on the season. And here is Jones at the line, and he rolls in the first one. He scored 17 points here last night to go along with 7 rebounds. And he's averaging just over 10 a game entering the weekend. Senior from Columbia, South Carolina, converts on both. Stetson on the board first.
We'll see if Bellarmine today gets into a little more offensive sets in the first half, something they didn't do yesterday, and it kind of bit them a little bit where they only shot 10 of 25 from the field. So we'll see if they look to get in their sets earlier today.
Claycomb couldn't hit the deep three. Thielen the offensive rebound, but has it stolen away. Bellarmine coach Scott Davenport talking after the game. Here's Donnie Jones in his second season at Stetson, former head coach at UCF and Marshall. And Jawara fouled as he got it in deep.
And early on through 3 possessions, that's already 2 inside paint touches for Jawara. Yesterday only had 4 points, 3 rebounds. You can tell that must have been a point of emphasis for Coach Jones that they want to pound Bellarmine inside with Jawara early and often.
Averages over 10 a game on the season coming into the weekend. Shoots a really high percentage. A lot of his shots come from in close. Not a great free throw shooter. Entering the weekend at about 54%. There's the head coach of the night, Scott Davenport, his 16th season. He talked after the game. He said he thought they got a lot of good looks in the first half last night, but didn't make them. And then in the second half, they were able to. Stetson's done all the scoring so far, and it's all been at the free throw line. Bradshaw cut off by Jones. And with a touch pass, and Thielen misses in close.
And the pace feels a little bit slower than last night, and some of that has to do with Bellarmine had 4 guys play 30-plus minutes. Stetson had 3 starters play 30-plus minutes, so we'll see how deep these teams go into their bench today early to kind of give a blow when it's less than a 24-hour turnaround to play back-to-back days.
It's interesting. Stetson has won on Friday night the first 2 weekends. There you see the air ball from Chase Johnston, the redshirt freshman from Boca Raton, Florida. They lost on Friday against North Alabama, or won on Friday against North Alabama, won on Friday against Liberty, and then losing last night. So it'll be interesting to see how they play off a loss for the first time in conference play.
Yeah, and we look at these keys for Stetson. I think a lot of it's going to go through Rob Perry creating shots for his teammates, open 3-pointers. On defense, Stetson really wants to run C.J. Fleming and Ethan Claycomb off the 3-point line because that's really what burned them late with those 2 shooters knocking down a couple threes late each. For Bellarmine is to continue to play scrappy. They don't have one person that can guard Jawara inside at 6'10", so it's going to be all hands on deck and everybody kind of double him when he catches it. And then on offense, it's to run Bellarmine sets and to be quick and pass and share the basketball.
Scott Davenport was asked about that after the game, and he said it has to be a team effort to guard a guy like Jawara, and that's what Bellarmine prides itself on, the team defense. Claycomb takes contact, couldn't finish, but he'll shoot a pair of free throws as that one goes against Jawara. The big man picks up his first foul.
And that's something you can see these next steps that Ethan Claycomb's taken. He's not rushing himself. He settles down, easy shot fake, gets the big guy in the air, and goes to the free throw line.
Mentioned the 14 points last night. He missed a free throw last night, too, which is uncharacteristic. Came into the weekend having missed just one on the year. He misses the first here, but he got it done on the defensive end, too. He had a career-high 4 blocks in the game last night.
That's a big adjustment and a big ask for Ethan Claycomb to guard Jawara the last 10 minutes in the game, and he was able to do it and had a lot of success, not only defensively, but offensively.
Ethan Claycomb, the reigning A-Sun player of the week, coming off a weekend at Florida Gulf Coast last weekend where he averaged 16 a game with 4 assists. Hits the Knights on the board here tonight. Here's Perry with an open look. Missed the 3, and a tough rebound there from Thielen. Dylan Penn into front court for the Knights. Junior from Evansville. Going to get it to Bradshaw. Swenson able to knock it away. Here's Josh Smith checking in for Stetson. Not far from here, Monrovia, Indiana, his hometown, about 30 minutes southwest of Indianapolis up the road. The freshman replaces Jawara, and we're pretty sure there's a pretty good contingent of fans here from the Monrovia area wearing Stetson green behind us.
And Coach Jones is going to his bench already within the first 3 minutes of the game. As we talked about, this back-to-back play is not something that teams are familiar with. It's kind of a COVID year where they're playing that to limit travel restrictions. So it'll be interesting to see, like I said, how deep these coaches go into their bench to see if they can get some breaks for their starters.
Smith, the first off the bench for Stetson, as you saw the folks in green, probably some of his family check it in here. He shoots the 3 and knocks it in. Josh Smith had 6 last night. That's just his 7th made 3 of the year. Bradshaw couldn't answer the other way, and Perry ends up with a rebound. And Donnie Jones was talking about it. They had won on Friday the first 2 weekends like we talked about, and he said the other team came out with a different intensity coming off the loss, and it's been tough for his team to match it. And this weekend, they get to come in off the win. As Swenson misses the 3, Bradshaw the rebound. So Bellarmine will have to match the intensity with a win in their pocket from last night.
And you can expect the subs pie to come in here pretty shortly because Bellarmine didn't get out in transition like I thought they would there. And I think it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to be the battle of the benches and see who can kind of find that spark off the bench.
Claycomb able to get one on the post up against Perry. Ethan Claycomb with 3 points. 1 point game early on. 4.5 minutes in. Johnston hits the 3. The redshirt freshman, the all-time leader nationally in high school three-pointers. He hit 546 of them in his career at Westminster Academy in Florida. That's a great pass. Claycomb finding Bradshaw on the other end for Bellarmine.
Chase Johnson, he's got the ultimate green light to shoot it, and that's one where Bellarmine's going to have to run him off the three-point line, and when he gets a screen, they need to trail and stay on his hip and not go under the ball screens.
Yeah, they really did a nice job on Johnston. Only 5 points. He also was in early foul trouble last night. And there's Smith hitting another 3. He's got 6 early points. He only averages 5 a game and had 6 all last night, as we mentioned. He's got 2 big 3s here in the first half for Stetson.
And this is the first kind of wrinkle that Coach Jones is throwing in. You see the first possession that they go zone. They didn't play one possession of zone last night, and already early they're playing a zone to try to give Bellarmine a different look, and it worked.
And there's Jones drawing contact. He'll head to the free throw line on the other side. That's a feat that hasn't been pulled off since, hadn't been done since Duke in the early 90s, and he certainly was a big part of those great Florida teams.
Yeah, that was one of the best college basketball teams I think I've ever saw, where they had Al Horford and Torian Green, and they had a plethora of big men where they threw at opposing teams.
Everyone's favorite Joakim Noah was always popular in this Kentucky area as Jones hits both free throws. Weza Panzo, the sophomore from Mississauga, Ontario, in for the first time for Stetson as Jones checks out. Donnie Jones here actually coached in Freedom Hall before. He said when he brought Marshall here, Rick Pitino picked up his 500th win against his Marshall team. And also as an assistant with Florida, Coach Davenport and Coach Jones were actually on opposite ends of a game here as the Cards were able to beat the #1 Gators back in 03 with Coach Davenport an assistant for Louisville. Donnie Jones was an assistant on the Gators bench in that affair.
And again, we see the Stetson Hatters play 2-3 zone, and we thought in our opening we'd see Stetson play more zone tonight. And early, it's, you know, we'll see how long they stick to it. And Bellarmine's going to try to attack that middle of the zone and be able to pass off the free throw line.
1 out of 2 for Alex Freem. The sophomore from Cincinnati gets his first point. The foul was called on Smith, so Smith and Jawara each with 1 for Stetson. And there is Stefan Swenson going right to the rim. He scored 9 last night, a career high. And the freshman from Brussels, Belgium, who went to the same high school as Chase Johnston, high school teammates playing together now with Stetson, he gets his first points. Green got his own miss and got called for the foul. So that's Freem's first. 8-point Stetson lead.
I can imagine on the next possession, if Stetson stays in the zone, we're going to see Ethan Clay come play that middle spot, just like Freem did there, and just get one of your guys that's been playing very well and having, you know, reigning ASUN player of the week, who's kind of making the decisions in there. We'll see if they move him in there.
And there's Josh Smith getting it down low this time, and the foul. Sam DeVault, the sophomore from Evansville, who was a high school teammate of Dylan Penn with Bellarmine. High school teammates on that side playing together now in college. He picks up the foul. And now Smith to the line, who's having a big game early on here for the Hatters. He's got 9 points to lead the way for Stetson. And the Hatters have the biggest lead of this series. They lead by 11. Bellarmine trying to solve that zone. Freem kicks for DeVault, hits the 3.
And you saw Coach Dale put Sam DeVault in there. Just if they're going to play zone, Bellarmine's going to want to have 5 shooters on the floor to be able to attack them at every position.
Smith open again, and he hits another. It's already been a career day for Josh Smith in front of a lot of folks from his hometown. He has 12 points. He's hit 3 3-pointers.
And he shoots, averages 2 3-point attempts a game, and he's already got 3 here in the first 6-7 minutes. And you know, we didn't see that last night from him, and you know, it's got to feel good for him to come back home or close to home in front of a lot of family and friends and play well.
He shot 1 3 last night and missed it as Panzo turns it over. And he, last weekend in their series against Liberty, he started both games with Jawara out in concussion protocol, but only shot 1 3 in each of those games and missed both times. So finding the stroke here against the Knights on day 2. Approaching his career high already. He scored 14 against Carver College earlier this year. That's his high. Metz misses the jumper for Bellarmine, but a rebounding foul going against Stetson. That one's on Giancarlo Valdez, the freshman from the Dominican just in.
And that's kind of a lot of Alex Freem's game. He always seems to stick his nose in there and is a great rebounding guard.
That's broken up and stolen away. Valdez committed the foul, but then got the steal on the inbound. Stetson looking to add to an 11-point lead. Just over 12 minutes left in the first half. Extra pass, Valdez missed that one badly.
That was another great look by Stetson. They've been getting open 3-pointers, and we'll see if Bellarmine looks to try to chase them off the 3-point line.
DeVault missed that one. Green with the offensive rebound. Blocked by Smith. Bradshaw had it, lost it, knocked out of bounds. It stays with Bellarmine. Stetson with the 11-point lead. It has been Josh Smith early on.
To get stops, to be able to get out in transition and not allow Stetson to sit back in their zone. It feels a little bit like last night how the game started, where Stetson got the lead and then Bellarmine seemed to turn it on in the second half.
CJ Fleming talked after the game. He said The switch kind of flipped there in the second half. They came out with a lot more energy and were able to push the tempo a little bit more to where they wanted it. So Bellarmine was able to take control of the pace in the second half. Claycomb had to let it fly with a shot clock expiring, and it rims off.
Not an ideal shot out of an immediate timeout. Stetson's been getting open looks almost every possession down the court here in the first 9 minutes.
Getting it to Johnston, an open look, and he hits. His second three-point make of this game. Stetson now has hit 5 threes already. They only hit 7 last night. Ream inside. Short-armed it. Valdez the rebound. Stetson has its biggest lead. It's 14, looking to add to it.
It's probably 2 or 3 chip shots that Bellarmine's missed, and they missed a couple of them last night. And here early on today, just not able to finish in front of the rim.
Scott Davenport upset as they didn't think C.J. Fleming touched that ball when it went into backcourt, and now Fleming picks up the foul. It's his first. The official who said it was tipped comes across the court. And there's the conversation ensuing. Stetson with 20 to shoot after the Fleming foul. Hatters will be in the bonus on the next Bellarmine foul. Still over 10 minutes left here in the first half.
Coach Davenport's really getting in the ear of the official there on that call. Stetson's doing a really good job of using his 4-around-1 with Smith in the middle and finishes another at the rim here.
He's got 14 points. He's matched his career high here in the first half, and Stetson leads by 16. Bradshaw off the fake. And it's the floater. And up high is Keith Lamar, the freshman from Stockbridge, Georgia, in the game for the Hatters. He grabs the board. So
a lid on the rim right now for Bellarmine, just going through a cold streak of not being able to score. And on the other end, they're not getting very many stops.
And Bellarmine only 4 of 16 from the floor. Stetson is 8 of 13 so far, including 5 of 9 from 3. And they call that offensive foul on the illegal screen against Lamar, his first. He's trying to cut into the advantage here a little bit.
It's interesting for Bellarmine is when teams zone them, they still will run offense. They don't kind of stand there. They still run their motion offense like if the team was playing man. Sometimes when teams go zone, the offense tends to stand and does exactly what the defense wants them to do when they go zone.
There's a finish by Bradshaw to break a long cold streak for the Knights off the feed from Penn. Johnston with a nice pass. And that three is good for Weza Panzo. Came into the weekend leading the ASUN in three-point field goal percentage. Came into the weekend at 11 of 21. Missed his only attempt last night, but buries his first one here today. And Ream misses in close. A good look that wouldn't fall.
Stetson's doing a great job with these ball screens. We'll look to see if Bellarmine makes the adjustments and starts switching these guard-to-guard screens. Looks like they're still playing with their men.
Panzo. Johnston. Collision. Walking foul. Betts trying to take the charge. Was a little bit late. And he's picked up his first foul, and that puts Stetson into the bonus.
I think that was a good call there. He jumped in a little late.
Didn't give him a whole lot of space, just a little bit late getting to that spot, and that's something this Bellarmine team, particularly Justin Betts, they do very well taking the charges, trying to get one there, but to no avail. And now Smith checks out to a nice ovation there. You can see in the background behind the Stetson bench as Jawara comes back in for the Hatters. Johnston rolls in the front end.
Kind of an offensive explosion here for Stetson. They're on pace to score over 100 points in this game at this rate. Definitely an uptick from yesterday, and I think maybe some of that has to do with Chase Johnson being able to be on the court. Yesterday he picked up 2 early fouls. Now was on the court, provides spacing, and he's made a couple threes, and he's also assisted on a couple of threes. So that helps Stetson a lot, being able to have one of your best players and your best shooters available in the first half.
Johnston to the bench after he hits both free throws. Hatters by 19. Penn in traffic. Finds Fleming. Out front, Claycomb. Can't hit the 3. Another offensive rebound.
Bellarmine will try to work that guard or whoever it is through the lane. And that is the second foul on Jawara. So we'll see how long he plays here.
Here at Roosters, we're not just
looks, and they probably missed 3 or 4 around the rim, and those are momentum killers when you miss those bunnies. And they were able to pick it up yesterday in the second half, and let's see if they can trim down this lead, because I know they don't want to go into halftime down 17 or more.
Foul was on Jawara going into the break, as Claycomb able to convert on the 3-point play. He's got 6. So Jawara with 2 fouls. He stays in the game playing with 2. Stetson up 16.
Pretty interesting they got Jawara staying in the game with 2 fouls. The way Bellarmine plays, the Bellarmine's going to probably look to get a charge on him.
Able to get the steal as he was surrounded, catching it in low that time.
And Jawara does do a great job of passing out of the double. He's one of the better passing big guys that I've seen early on, to being able to split the double and find the open shooter.
Penn can't hit the 3, but another offensive rebound. This time it's Bradshaw for the night. Bellarmine already with 7 offensive rebounds. Stetson doesn't have any, but they haven't missed many shots. That's one of the reasons.
And Bellarmine's got to look to attack at the free throw line and pass out from there.
Betts walled off, only 4 to shoot. Fleming with a shot clock winding down, missed the 3. Another offensive board. Bradshaw tries. That won't go. And there's Jones to clear it finally for the Hatters.
3 good looks there for Bellarmine, and just unable to knock it down.
You know, mentioned similarities to last night for Bellarmine. The difference is tonight Stetson is red hot. They were 7 of 23 from 3 yesterday. They're 6 of 11 right now tonight. Last 3 games coming into today, shooting just 29% from the 3, but they had been shooting over 47% in their 4 before that. So they got cold. They might be starting to heat back up again tonight, averaging 9 made 3s a game, 3rd in the A-Sun entering the weekend. They have 6 here in the first half to have this big lead. You can see the comparison from last night to tonight so far for Stetson, and certainly the numbers have jumped big time for the Hatters.
Look to see if they like to isolate Jawara.
Here's Panzo. Bounce twice.
There's his 3rd foul.
There it is. They got it on Jawara with Claycomb going for the rebound. 3 on Mohamedou Jawara. The good news for Bellarmine is Jawara goes to the bench. The bad news is Josh Smith comes back in.
Yeah, I think if you'd have told Bellarmine before the game they'd get Jawara with 3 fouls, they'd be really happy. But his backup, Josh Smith, already has 14 points.
Let's see how it plays out. You don't want him, if you're Stetson, to get a bunch of fouls and not be able to give Smith a spell at this point, playing on the 2nd straight day.
And they're a little thin up front, with one with an injury and now with Jawara with 3 fouls. So we'll see if they like to probably go a little more guard-oriented as we look to close out the half.
And Gabriel Ward, a freshman 7'1", big man for Stetson, out with a broken hand, expected to miss about a month. Fleming hits a tough 3 from way out, hit it right over Swenson. C.J. Fleming with 5. We'll see if that can get Bellarmine going. And Joel Kabimba, another big man for Stetson, a sophomore. He is not with the team right now, so they are very thin up front.
This is a big 4.5 minutes for Bellarmine to close the half. They're down 13. You really want to cut this lead to single digits to go into half, to feel like you have a good chance of being able to come back and win.
Perry's had a pretty quiet day. Panzo missed the three with a shot clock expiring. There's a save by Jones and the first offensive rebound of the game for Stetson. And Jones finds Smith for the two-handed stuff. A new career high here in the first half for Josh Smith. He's got 16 points.
Great look by Stetson on the drive, commit the defender, and then dump it off to Smith for the dunk.
Freshman from Monrovia, Indiana, a big day. Fleming took another three. That one wouldn't go. Perry, a pull-up in transition. Almost. Swenson knocked it away from Penn. Bellarmine will get it back on the other side. Boy, it has been Josh Smith here in the first half, having a career day for Stetson, and his squad up 15. Final fours in D2 in the 2011 national championship when Coach Davenport was the National Coach of the Year in D2. Nick, you were a part of that team, just a special thing, and really helped probably be the forerunner for eventually this program lifting itself to D1.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were loaded with talent that year. 10 years later, there's three of those players, Jeremy Kendall, Braden Hobbs, and Chris Dow, still playing professionally overseas, making a living. So we were loaded with talent and very fortunate because it takes you have to be a good team, but it takes a little bit of luck sometimes to make it all the way through, because we had 3 straight games where it was a tie ball game with 4 or 5 minutes to go in the NCAA tournament, and just hit a couple shots and got some stops when it needed. And as I said, fortunate and happy that we were able to win it in 2011.
No one can take that away. Fleming hit the three on the other end for Bellarmine. Perry on the pull-up, missed it, and looking to run for the nice.
See if they're going to try to drop into a zone and see if Bellarmine can beat him down the floor and get in the middle.
Ash Whelan had a follow-away like that last night. Hits one tonight. His first points, the sophomore from Cincinnati out of Lakota East High School.
And that's where for Bellarmine, it's all going to start on this defensive end. If you can get stops, you can run in transition, and it's very hard to play zone out of a missed shot. They did it there, and Bellarmine was able to capitalize, getting a quick bucket.
Swenson somehow with a pass, the three missed, but on the offensive rebound, Johnston knocks down another three. His third of the first half. He's got 11 points. Stems the run from Bellarmine. Knights had cut it to 10. Opens it back up to 13 for Stetson. Hatters have led by as many as 19 in this first half, and there's a kick by Swenson to reset the shot clock to 20.
And each time Bellarmine's had success against the zone, it's when they catch the ball right there at free throw extended. They face the rim and make a play to 10 to 12 feet, where you either attack the basket or you kick out for a three. Let's see if they look to bring a middle flasher in.
And on the skip, there they find Freem. This won't go away. He's had a lot of looks in there, but just can't get one to fall, Alec Freem. Freem now 0 for 5 from the floor, and boy, so many of them could have dropped, just didn't. Swenson did well to recoil that, like Tiger stopping in his backswing there. A double Smith. The swing to Jones. No foul either way, and Jones lays it in, his first field goal of the day. He's got 6 points, came in 68 shy of becoming the 36th in Stetson history to get to 1,000. He is the lone senior on this Stetson's team. And there's Dylan Penn hitting one in the paint. His first points.
See if Stetson looks for a 2-for-1 here to close out the half. Look for a shot around 40 seconds.
Fleming up tight on Johnston. Perry finds Smith. They swing it out. Johnston hits another three. He's hit 4 now in the first half. 14 points for Chase Johnston and 9 3-pointers here in the first half for the Hatters.
And Chase is a volume three-point shooter. 75% of his shots are three-pointers. If you're Bellarmine, you have to run him off the three-point line. You don't. And he's very capable, as we've seen, as a pure shooter as they come.
And with 2 to shoot, out to Claycomb. Oh, good, and that's the end of the first half. The Hatters led by as many as 19. They've controlled it from start to finish. They head to the locker room leading by 16. They've done well when leading at the half this year. That's the case here today.
Introducing the new Verizon Business Unlimited plans. Now you can pick a plan for as low as $30 a line. Get 5G nationwide. Plus, massive data capacity. Plus, enhanced security for your devices. Plus, with Verizon Business Unlimited plans, you can mix and match to get more of what you need and none of what you don't. All for as low as $30 a line. All from Verizon, the network businesses rely on.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon codes.
Well, Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them.
Save me some cheddar.
Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
With the Home Depot app, your phone is your most powerful tool. Find just what you need in a snap. Get a second opinion in seconds and have it all delivered free. Download today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This is Jerome Bettis, and I want to introduce you to my friends at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Bet Rivers is the online home of Rivers Casino, the trusted local team that cares about your satisfaction. Bet Rivers works hard to make your sports betting experience second to none. When you want to bet, do it with the local team you trust at Bet Rivers. Get started at betrivers.com today and bet with a winner.
Have you or a loved one been wronged by pre-made breakfast? Well, Wendy's has your back, dropping the hammer with 2 of these made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Get the breakfast you deserve now, 2 for $4, only at Wendy's.
It was never about the gold. It was always about the goals. And I didn't reach them just by training my body, but my mind as well. So close your eyes. Visualize all the ways you could break through. Then, imagine everything that could go wrong. A false start, a bad turn, broken goggles. Now picture yourself staying calm and overcoming every obstacle. Open your eyes. Train what's under the armor.
When the chapstick goes on, it's on. Get yours on at chapstick.com.
Welcome back to Freedom Hall halftime. Stetson with a 16-point lead. Producer-director Craig Miller, Nick Holmes. I'm Nick Curran. Thanks for being with us here at Freedom Hall. And in that first half, Stetson raining threes. The Hatters 8 of 17. And the catalysts have been 2 guys for the Hatters. And they've got a lot of good looks as Josh Smith got off to a hot start.
I think that was his first 3 kind of surprised Bellarmine. And then it gave him a little confidence as a freshman that when the second one here, he pretty much pulls it automatically, playing with confidence. And like you said, 7 out of the 8 threes hit by freshmen. So a very young team, Chase Johnston being one of them. The best time to shoot three-pointers is off an offensive rebound where the defense is scrambling, and Stetson's taking advantage of it and really passing the ball well. As you see there, big man passes out to the guard, wide open shot, and nothing but the net.
Johnston with 4 threes in the first half. Smith with 3. They've hit 7 of the 8 for the Hatters. Stetson with a 16-point lead at the break.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon codes.
Well, Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them. It's called shopping smart, not hard.
But I don't have a Capital One card.
You should get one, but you don't need it for this. Just download Capital One Shopping to your computer. It's free.
Ooh, save me some cheddar.
So, when's the party? I love fondue.
Really?
I never joke about hot cheese, Susan.
Me neither.
Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
And now more Straight Talk from Straight Talk. The big wireless companies will tell you they're the only way to get the best networks. Not true. Straight Talk Wireless runs on those same cell towers all over the country.
This one too?
Not just this one too. Which means you get the same great networks for up to 50% less.
Makes sense. Can I go back now?
Oh, sorry. Switch to our unlimited plan for just $45 a month with no contract. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning.
Ready.
Nice job, Dad.
Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. You either love it or you really love it.
There's only one original stuffed crust, and it's only from Pizza Hut. The only place that gives you up to 3 toppings on your original stuffed crust for just $11.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. When considering another treatment, ask about Xeljanz, a pill for adults with moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis when methotrexate has not helped enough. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain and swelling, stiffness, and help stop further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers, including lymphoma, and blood clots have happened. Taking a higher than recommended dose of Xeljanz for RA may increase risk of death. Tears in the stomach or intestines and serious allergic reactions have happened. Don't let another morning go by without asking your doctor about the pill first prescribed for RA more than 7 years ago. Xeljanz.
Still your best friend, and now your co-pilot. Still an electric car, just more electrifying. Chevrolet, making life's journey just better.
Welcome back to Freedom Hall. The banner's now flying in this historic building for the A-Sun in the heart of conference play. Both of these teams in their third weekend of league play, both entering at 2-2 and entering the weekend at 2-2. And Stetson trying to come out of it still 500. Bellarmine trying to exit the weekend with a winning record in their first year in the league. And boy, it was just kind of a similar story in the first half, Nick, to what we saw last night from Bellarmine. Stetson, on the other hand, had a huge first half compared to last night, and that's why they have this big lead.
Offensively, Stetson kind of got anything they wanted, whether it was from inside from Smith, whether it was outside from their shooters. On the flip side, a big adjustment that Stetson made was they're playing a lot of zone today to slow Bellarmine down, and we didn't see it any last night, and the majority of the last probably 13 or 14 minutes they were in the zone.
Both teams took care of the ball well in that first half, but you see Stetson 9 assists on the 13 baskets. That's normally something you see from Bellarmine. The Knights didn't shoot a good percentage, 6 assists on their 10 buckets. And for Stetson, Chase Johnston, who's hit 4 threes, and Josh Smith, who's hit 3 threes, they have combined for 30 of Stetson's 42 points. Those two guys have been the show so far for the Hatters.
We'll see what Bellarmine looks to do in the second half, because I'd imagine that Stetson's going to stay in the zone. So Bellarmine's going to we'll probably see a little more of Sam DeVault. We'll see a little more where Bellarmine's going to try to enter the ball into the high post and then kick out for threes. And the hard thing when you're down 16 is you can't hit a 16-point shot. You know, it's going to start on the defensive end of getting stops and not allowing Stetson to get wide open looks from Johnson and Smith, and then convert that in transition and not let Stetson sit in their zone and just pack it in on Bellarmine.
Knights were able to overcome a double-digit deficit last night. They'll have to do it again today if they want to pick up another win. They trailed by 10 with about 16 minutes to go last night. They're down 16 at the half here today as Stetson in control at Freedom Hall.
Doug.
And if we win, we get to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance. So you only pay for what you need.
Isn't that what you just did?
Service!
Stand back, I'm gonna show ya how Doug and Lee will roll ya. You know you gotta live it if you wanna win.
Time out.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm a new customer and I want your best new smartphone deal.
Well, I'm an existing customer and I'd like your best new smartphone deal.
Oh, do you?
Actually, it's for both new and existing customers.
I feel silly. But I do want the fastest 5G network.
Oh, I want the fastest 5G network.
Are we actually doing this again?
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives everyone the same great deal, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free when you trade in.
With the Home Depot app, your phone is your most powerful tool. Find just what you need in a snap. Get a second opinion in seconds and have it all delivered free. Download today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Have you or a loved one been wronged by pre-made breakfast? Well, Wendy's has your back, dropping the hammer with 2 of these made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Get the breakfast you deserve now, 2 for $4. Only at Wendy's.
When the chapstick goes on, it's on. Get yours on at chapstick.com.
Bye. Drive safe. What do we do with our son gone off to college?
What you'll do is claim a tuition tax credit for him, which I can help file.
Right here. Come on, look, look, look.
If you're a photographer, these props can be deducted.
Can I write up the Wi-Fi in my son's treehouse?
If that's where you get your freelancing done, then yep.
Thank you!
File with the help of an expert, or let an expert file for you. Intuit TurboTax Live.
I'm one of the best in the world. One mistake, and it's over. This is a different fight. I'm going to stop Connor by any means necessary.
Hulu has live sports. Hulu.
Damn, that was dope. But it's Hulu doesn't just have live sports.
I don't know, man. We can make that work, right? Hulu doesn't just have live sports, it's a lifestyle.
Getting ready for the start of the second half here at Freedom Hall. Stetson with a 42-26 lead over Bellarmine. The Hatters looking for a split over these 2 days, with Bellarmine winning last night. We talked about it a lot. It's been Josh Smith and Chase Johnston. Johnston, the redshirt freshman transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne. And Smith, the big man freshman, the true freshman from just up the road in Monrovia, Indiana. They've combined for 30 of Stetson's 42 points and for 7 of the Hatters' 8 made three-pointers so far in the game. They've done it all.
Yeah, and I think Stetson's going to be a dangerous team coming towards the end of the year, starting 3 freshmen, and you can see today where 2 of them are playing better, and the more minutes Johnston and Smith and Swenson get, the better they're going to be, and come tournament time, I think they're going to be a force to reckon with in the ASUN, and one of the reasons that they were picked 3rd in the preseason because of what they did last year with their freshmen that they had coming back.
Yeah, made it to the semifinals of the ASUN tourney. We're supposed to return all 5 starters. You saw the numbers there. A big turn for Stetson, even with less shots. Been so much more efficient tonight and gotten to the free throw line more. For Bellarmine, pretty similar story to what they were able to do last night. Didn't get to the free throw line as much in the first half today, but not too much difference. And unfortunately, on the defensive end, things didn't go as well, and so they find themselves in a much bigger hole tonight, trailed by 7 last night at the half. Today, the margin is 16 for Stetson, and yesterday was the first time this year that Stetson has lost when leading at halftime. And Bellarmine will have to make it 2 days in a row. And you see the youth, Stetson with only Christian Jones as a senior on this team. And they were supposed to have a little bit more experience. Kenny Aninye, who was going to be a senior point guard for this team, started 29 games last year. He opted out in September with everything going on with COVID. And then they had a sophomore point guard in Terry Ivory, who also opted out after this team had to go through a couple of quarantines in the preseason. Ivory opted out after the second quarantine, getting ready for their first game. So their roster's been depleted with injuries and a couple of guys opting out due to the pandemic. But you talked about it, the youth getting a lot of experience, and might be something that pays off as the season gets deeper.
Absolutely. And I think as we see a similar offense for Bellarmine as yesterday as tonight, where they were just a little sluggish. They were only down 7 yesterday. Today they're down 16 at half, and a lot of that has to do with Bellarmine on the defensive end. Yesterday they played very well defensively the whole game, even when they were struggling on offense. Today, give credit to Stetson because they hit open shots, but Bellarmine's going to have to lock down on the defensive end and not give up 42 points again if they're going to try to make this a game and cut into this 16-point lead.
Fleming hits the 3, but it won't count. Foul called off the ball. It goes against Nick Thielen on a discard in there, his second, and that's crushing for the Knights on their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, pretty crafty move by Swenson. The guard gets switched on the big guy, and a little bit maybe of a flop, but...
Well, they're going to check it, I think, to see if it was a flop. So they're going to come over to the monitor to see. Just 14 seconds into this second half. Even if they were to rule it a flop, I don't know if they'd be able to count that basket from Fleming or not. So we'll see as they're coming over to look at it, and we'll hopefully look at it for you here as well once they get it ready to go. But just a tough start to the half, and getting a chance to see what Donnie Jones talked about, the winning team the next day having to kind of match the intensity of the losing team. When you lose that first game, there's always going to be more desperation going into day 2, and the winning team has to find a way to sort of match that and not rest on its laurels after winning the first night.
Yeah, definitely it's an adjustment for these players. Even the upperclassmen for Bellarmine, the juniors and seniors, they've never had this where they're playing the same team on back-to-back days. And honestly, I think it's the first time I've ever seen it in any college level that I've ever seen over the last 20-plus years where you play the same team back-to-back.
Yeah, some, especially in the Division II level, some leagues will play on back-to-back days, but you're playing different teams. So it's a whole different element when you're playing the same team in the same place on back-to-back days. It's just a completely different deal.
And I think what Bellarmine's looking at, if the shot was released before the offensive foul was called. Because if so, they would count Fleming's basket, and they're going to wave it off and said the charge, the offensive foul on Nick Thielen happened before Fleming released the ball.
Yeah, I thought they were checking to maybe see a flop, but I think they were just looking to see if the shot had been released, and that is what they were looking at, and they ruled it had not been, so no basket for Bellarmine, which is tough. And now a technical foul on Scott Davenport. He's been working the officials a lot of the day and picks up a tee here.
And it's one thing, it's hard. You always want to know what he says, but with the mask on, you can't read lips this year. So not sure exactly what the technical was for, other than maybe something to do with that offensive foul on Nick Thielen. I don't know if the Bellarmine coaching staff necessarily agreed with that.
Sends Chase Johnston to the free throw line to shoot the technical free throws. It does go as Bellarmine's second team foul here in the second half. Johnston hits them both, so he's up to 16. He has scored 19 points 3 different times this year, which is as high as a redshirt freshman in his first year. And now the lead 18 for Stetson. 19 is the most the Hatters have led by tonight. And a chance to surpass that, and there it is. The dump down to Jawara, his first field goal, and the Hatters have their biggest lead.
And a lot of teams are going to do that to Bellarmine. They're always going to put in the lob play as Bellarmine fronts the post. That time, Stetson able to execute it to perfection.
And now having to go against that set Stetson zone again with a shot clock down to 10.
And that zone makes it, you have to work a little bit more for shot. And when you're down 20, it's basically shortening the game, the amount of possessions. And it's going to make it tough for Bellarmine to come back. But off to a start there. And it's all just going to start on defensive end for Bellarmine. But Stetson's been red hot from everywhere. They're scoring inside, outside. And from a multiple players, whether it's Johnston, whether now it's Jawara getting into the scoring action. So very impressive so far by Stetson. And
foul there on Dylan Penn, his second. The senior C.J. Fleming hit the jumper for the Knights. They try to work their way back into this.
Imagine they're going to try to work it inside of Jawara. Bellarmine's going to come with a double, and he'll probably kick out to a shooter.
Retreats to the corner. He threw it away into the backcourt that time. As the double bother him, and that's a Stetson turnover. Just the 4th turnover of the game committed by the Hatters. Each team with only 4 now.
And Jawara's used to the double team, and I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times over the last 2 nights where that's the first time he's actually made an errant pass. He's usually a very good passer out of the double team, and just got a little bit on his back foot there and didn't necessarily attack the double and try to split it and faded away from it.
Gotten to see a couple of really good passing big men in this building. Lipscomb was in a couple of weeks ago. Asana Sajula, really good with that, probably the best in the league, and certainly Jawara, very talented at it as well. Bradshaw finds Thielen, who's able to lay it in. His first points of the night. That cuts the lead to 16.
His next 3 to 5 minutes is going to be very important for Bellarmine. They're down 16. They need to get this lead down to 10 or 12 here and not let it go the other way, if anything else.
Swenson has his pass stolen as Bradshaw got in the passing lane. 1-on-2, and he's stripped. Bellarmine will keep it with 26 showing on the shot clock. Good hands there defensively.
That was a great move by Bradshaw, too, and Johnson just showed that savvy veteran move of stripping it right when he was going to shoot it. I feel like a little more pop out of Bellarmine right now. Like they have a little more energy than they did maybe in that first half. Exactly how they came out yesterday, too, where they came out with more energy.
Bradshaw in the lane off the pass from Claycomb. We'll see if Pedro Bradshaw gets going. He's got 6 points. Knights leading scorer coming in. Bellarmine's rattled off 6 straight.
We'll see how much longer Stetson stays in that zone. Bellarmine seems to figure it out a little bit early.
There's Perry. Gives it up to Jones. Back to Perry. A wide open 3. In and out.
Bellarmine got fortunate there. That was a really good look by Perry.
Boy, his shot, I don't know if he could slide a piece of paper under his feet. And there's a miscue from the Knights. An unforced turnover. Their 5th turnover of the night.
It's a big turnover there. Bellarmine, they score a basket here. I think Stetson even looks to call a timeout as Bellarmine started to gain a little momentum and it's kind of deflated there, but they're playing better on defense. But credit Stetson, they're still getting open looks every play.
Johnston thought about a deep one. Instead he gets it into Jawara. The hook falls off, and a rebounding foul against Stetson.
I think that's 4 on Jawara.
It is. So here comes Smith off the Stetson bench. His first minutes of the second half as Jawara has to sit with 4 fouls, and it'll be interesting to see how Donnie Jones plays this.
That's a big foul. Smith's played really, really well in the first half, but Jawara defensively just makes it so much harder for Bellarmine to finish inside, just to see if they get some more baskets at the rim. Bellarmine with Jawara having to sit down probably for almost the next 10 minutes.
Jawara, a really good shot blocker. Bradshaw short arm that one in the lane, though, and Swenson comes out with a rebound.
I know Coach Davenport over there is telling Bradshaw to go up with 2 feet and just shoot it instead of trying to use that little floater, which is a much more difficult shot.
Swenson, I don't know how that one popped out. Lid on it right now for Stetson. The Knights feel like they probably got to take advantage right now. Penn able to hit the floater. It's an 8-0 Bellarmine run to cut the lead to 12.
I think we'll see some man-to-man from Stetson here pretty soon. Bellarmine's getting anything they want within 5 feet.
See if the Hatters can find an answer to the Bellarmine run. Johnston.
Got a big man on a mismatch there, and Johnson took advantage of it off the switch.
He's got 18. That ends the 8-0. Fleming open. Hits the 3. He's got 13. And a stoppage. I think they might be going to the monitor again.
They're going to delay a game.
A warning against Nick Thielen. So that's the stoppage. It brings us to a timeout. Stetson up 11 here at Freedom Hall. Half are going to be really important, and Bellarmine has cut into the lead. It got out to 20. We saw the Scott Davenport technical foul, but Bellarmine was down 16 at halftime. They cut into the lead down to 11 here.
Yeah, very similar game to yesterday, where Stetson got out to the big lead in the first half, and Bellarmine came out and cut into it. You know, the thing is, when you're down 11, you don't have a lot of margin for error. So every 5-minute little game of the half, there's 4 of them, is going to be very important for Bellarmine to continue to trim this down. The next 5 minutes, you want to see when you're at the 10-minute mark to be under 10 points.
Swenson lays it off for Smith, and a foul with 2 on the shot clock. A lot of traffic under there, and the foul goes against Alec Freem of Bellarmine, who's checked in, his second. That's going to put Josh Smith at the free throw line. Freshman, all-state performer at Monrovia High School. And he's having a career day back about as close as Stetson gets to his home area in conference play. He's got some folks here as he hits both free throws and just keeps adding to his career afternoon.
And then out of the media, Stetson goes back to man-to-man. Bellarmine scores immediately, but I thought it worked really well, adjustment for Stetson to go zone. It kind of ran its course. They got a big lead with it, but Bellarmine scoring 5 out of the last 6 possessions against the zone. It was a good move by Coach Jones to go back to man.
Alec Freem finally getting one to go. His first field goal. Got 3 points. Jones finds Johnston. Boy, he doesn't really even have to get his feet set. That one was almost on the run, able to put it in.
Yeah, that's kind of what Bellarmine wanted to do, run him off the three-point line, and Johnson just a tough shot.
Playcomb leans in and gets it to go. Playcomb with 8. Johnston now with 20 for Stetson. That's his career high.
Bellarmine's trying to pick up the tempo. They want this pace to get a little faster for them to play a little bit more into their favor. They'll see if they can try to speed up Stetson and get in transition here.
You don't see Bellarmine press very often, and kind of doing it to up the tempo here. Johnston, quick release, no. Freem in traffic, able to corral the rebound. Bellarmine could cut it to single digits. Bradshaw. His first made 3 of the day, and the Knights have cut the lead to 8.
For Bellarmine, it all starts on their defensive end. If they can get stops and getting out in transition, they're going to find open men. See if Stetson feels like they were in the same position yesterday where they were up big, had the momentum, and Bellarmine kind of turned the tides on them. We'll see if Stetson can settle down here and not let that happen on back-to-back nights. You can feel the crowd getting into it.
As
Bellarmine's getting into it.
And the Knights off the turnover will get it back with a chance to cut into the lead. If you're just joining us, thank you for doing that. Maybe you just watched Louisville knock off Duke at the KFC Yum Center or here at Freedom Hall. Along with Nick Holmes, I'm Nick Curran. Bellarmine trying to battle back, trying to sweep Stetson in this weekend set of 2 in the A-Sun. Knights trailed by 16 at halftime, 20 early in the second half. They've cut the lead to 8 as they try to battle back into it.
Stetson falls back into the 2-3.
Penn couldn't get it to go, but Freem with the effort play to bat it to Bradshaw. Claycomb missed the runner, and Smith with a rebound for Stetson.
Two good looks for Bellarmine, just unable to convert.
And now here's Smith. What a day he's having. Josh Smith has been incredible. The freshman now with 21 points, his career high.
He's playing with a lot of confidence. It's a catch and shoot now every time for Smith. And
the reigning A-Sun player of the week, Ethan Claycomb, with the answer for Bellarmine. His first made 3 of this game. He's got 11.
And Bellarmine's picking up the tempo. The pace is starting to quicken, and it's playing. That plays more into Bellarmine's hands.
Anzo misses, but Smith with a rebound. Oh, and a foul call. That's a tough call. It's on Justin Betts, his second. Ethan Claycomb trying to keep the Knights in touch. A tough schedule early on. A couple of ACC squads in Duke and Notre Dame, and their big Division I wins came in the form of a sweep against Florida Gulf Coast last weekend on the road at Howard. And there you see Stetson. They played some tough teams early. Both of these teams have dealt with COVID pauses as well, and within a game of one another in the A-Sun standings entering today.
Get the switch with Betts on Smith. See if Stetson tries to take advantage of it or gets the ball, at least on the offensive rebound.
Valdez just got it away. No foul called.
You're going to have an open guy.
Let's try to cut it to a 2-possession game. Betts. Nice feed to Penn. Lost it, but back to Betts. Oh, he weaved that out to Fleming. Betts able to hit his first points of this game. He hit the free throws to ice it last night, and Bellarmine has cut the lead to 6.
That was a big possession of Bellarmine scoring there. Now all of a sudden it feels like we got a ball game on our hands, down to 6.
Johnston. Give it up to Panzo. Lamar's got a cotton swab up his left nostril.
See if Rob Perry gets back in that game. Stetson's leading scorer.
Not scored here today. There's a 3. Panzo with a shot clock going off. And Bradshaw with a rebound.
Bellarmine's starting to play that defense that they played yesterday, and a main reason why they've cut 10 points off this halftime lead.
And a foul going against the Hatters. It's on Lamar, his second. It's only the second team foul on Stetson, so 22 on the Bellarmine shot clock. Lamar out, Perry in. And for Perry, it's been a trend through the first couple of weekends of A-Sun play. He had a big game and then had a not-so-big game. He had 29 in their Friday night win at North Alabama, only 6 the next day. He had 20 in the Saturday loss to Liberty after just 4 on Friday last week. Last night, Perry had 10. Not really a big game, but hasn't gotten going today so far. Here's Bradshaw. And Perry there for the rebound, and he's fouled. Justin Betts picks up his 3rd.
And Bellarmine already has 16 fouls, so look for that. The next foul put them in the 1-and-1 early in the second half.
Stetson on the year, not a great free throw shooting team, but today the Hatters are 12 of 13 at the free throw line, so they've taken full advantage coming into the weekend, just 65% from the line as a team. Ten on the shot clock. Swenson finds Perry. Still couldn't get one to go, but Smith with the offensive board. Missed the putback, the tap, no. Panzo had it. Fleming steals it away. Crowd wanted a foul. They're incensed here at Freedom Hall. No call. Penn for Betts. Inside, he finishes, and the lead is 4 for the Hatters.
Bellarmine on the defensive end. Stetson's got down the shot clock. Look for Stetson to run something through Perry and Swenson with the ball screen from Smith. It seems to be what's working. Let's see if they go through there. I imagine you want to get Smith in a ball screen.
Missed the three. Panzo kept it alive. Got it to Perry. Oh, what a steal by Claycomb. Bradshaw to the rim. And the foul.
Copycat of last night. Only this time Bellarmine, instead of down with 7, is down 16. They got a chance within 12 minutes. They've cut 14, could be 15 off the lead. And it all starts on defense. Bellarmine with the steal, go down, attack the rim. In the first half, they allowed so many points that they played against that set defense and couldn't get in transition. And as we've seen this last 4 to 5 minutes, the pace has picked up. And it's allowed Bellarmine to play more of their game in transition and being able to share the basketball.
Bradshaw completes the three-point play. He has 12 points. Foul was on Smith. He's got 2. He goes to the bench. Jawara back in playing with 4 fouls. Knights on a 10-0 run. Stetson led by 20 early in the second half. And it's a 1-point game here at Freedom Hall. Swenson with the wraparound. Jawara couldn't find room to get the shot off.
The same thing we saw last night. Bellarmine plays 5 guards. Stetson brings in Jawara, so it's going to be a decision to see who Jawara guards here coming down. I imagine he's going to go on maybe Justin Betts. I'm just trying to figure out, or does Stetson play zone here and protect Jawara? And it looks like they're going to play zone, but we'll be interested to see when they go man if Bellarmine can get some stops, who Jawara is going to guard, and vice versa. What's Bellarmine going to do with Jawara? I imagine they're going to come with a quick double.
Betts was in position to take a charge. The travel was called. Knights a chance to take the lead. Penn. Shot clock at 6. And in the lane with 2. Lost it and a foul as the buzzer went off. That's a big-time bailout there. They get it on Swenson, his first. So the Knights will keep possession. Don't go anywhere. It's a 1-point game in Louisville. Really gotten it going offensively. Struggled in the first half. Kind of the same story as last night. They look like kind of a different team here in the second.
Yeah, for Bellarmine, it all starts on defense. If they get stops, they get out in transition before Stetson can set their zone defense. I think that's really been the key this second half of them just getting stops.
Bellarmine 12 of 16 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3 in half number 2. A chance to take the lead for the first time today.
Bellarmine's doing good when they get the ball right there in the middle.
3 to shoot. And Cream threw it away. So a crucial Bellarmine turnover, the 6th of the game committed by the Knights.
I think we'll see Ethan Claycomb. Yep, there he is. I figured he would come in quick here with...
They're actually going to leave him on the bench, I think, with Bellarmine playing defense here.
We'll see if the Hatters go inside to Jawara on the post. going to have at least 5 or 6 inches on whoever's guarding him.
They lob it into him. There's the double and the triple and a travel. And now Donnie Jones irate on the Stetson sideline. Claycomb in for Bellarmine, replacing Freem.
This is the lineup yesterday that got it done with Claycomb playing the 5. Bellarmine goes back again to the well once more to it.
Stetson in a zone. Swenson knocked it away from Penn, but couldn't keep it in bounds. Bellarmine keeps it 19 on the shot clock.
Last couple of possessions for Bellarmine have been a little shaky. Let's see if they enter it to Claycomb or want somebody in the middle, and he faces up and can make a play.
Bradshaw. And Bellarmine leads for the first time tonight.
It's a big possession here for Stetson. If they don't make it, they're going to have to go play Bellarmine man. And Jawor's going to have to come out and guard. We'll see if they can get a big bucket here and be able to drop into their zone.
Pedro Bradshaw now
Jawor's
with 15.
Gone.
And Jawara just fouled out as Claycomb ends up on the ground. And Mohamedou Jawara, the second leading shot blocker in the A-Sun coming into the weekend, has just fouled out. 3 points and 2 rebounds. That brings the freshman Josh Smith, who's had a career afternoon, back in there.
It's hard to play when you get 3 fouls in the first half, and that's why so many coaches, you'll see it's an automatic. We don't even bring you back in if you get 2 fouls, because if you pick up that third one, it's hard to play 20 minutes, and you're thinking about it all halftime.
Jawara missed last weekend's series with Liberty with concussion protocol, and back in there. Quiet night last night, and fouls out here today. Claycomb in close, taking advantage of Jawara being out of the game, and the reigning A-Sun player of the week now with 13.
A 20-point swing. And it all starts on defense for Bellarmine. They've only given up 13 points this half through almost 3/4 of the way through the half, where the first half they gave up 42. So for Bellarmine, it all starts on defense, and for the Hatters, they've quieted down a little bit for how hot they were in the first half.
Jones hits a big 3 with a shot clock winding down. He has 9, and that ends a 15-0 Bellarmine run. Christian Jones, the lone senior on this Stetson roster, coming up big.
Looking to get an ISO for Dylan Penn.
He takes Swenson to the basket. Dylan Penn with 6.
It's a big time move by Dylan Penn right there. They called his number, and Coach Davenport's going to run it again when they call an ISO for you, and you make a move like that.
Here's Perry. Missed another. Claycomb with a heck of a box out. Betson's up with a rebound. Oh, he tried to thread the needle there to Justin Betts, and Johnston with a steal. Johnston missed it. Bradshaw pulls down the rebound.
If you would have told Stetson to get their best shooter with a 3-point shot, it just didn't go in, but that was a good look.
Double-double for Pedro Bradshaw. That was his 10th rebound. And Penn gets another to go. He has 8. Dylan Penn getting to the bucket the last 2 trips for Bellarmine. And the Knights have their biggest lead. It's out to 5.
I think Coach Jones would have called a timeout there if there wasn't going to be a timeout at the under 4 media.
Swenson.
Ran him off the line. That's a good job by Bellarmine. A better shot.
Johnston gets the 2, not the 3. He's got 22 tonight. Pedro Bradshaw for Bellarmine with 15 points and 10 rebounds. Bellarmine's second Division I double-double. Alec Freem had one at Howard, the other.
And some of it where they're going to the zone is because they can't handle Dylan Penn one-on-one if they're going zone, and Bellarmine, they played a whale of a second half. Same thing last night. They played really well, and they come out here and kind of everything's working against man, against zone, and it'll be interesting to see what Coach Jones does here in the last 2 minutes of what he decides to play Bellarmine on defense to get some stops.
Bradshaw on cue there. Now with 17 as he got it inside. Lead is 5 for the Knights. Swenson lost it. Penn pulls it in. Looking to push. Finds the trailer and Claycomb lays it in. And a timeout, Stetson. All Bellarmine as the crowd comes alive here in the second half at Freedom Hall. It's then a North Alabama game plays out a little bit later. Bellarmine could be tied for first in the loss column in the A-Sun coming out of the day.
It's been very impressive. We'll see what Stetson looks to do. Jawara fouls out. Imagine it's going to be something run through Perry or Swenson with some ball screens, and you're going to look to see if you can get Johnston or Jones an open three off of one of your penetrators.
Johnston lays it off for Smith, and he's fouled. So that one goes against Justin Betts. He's picked up his fourth. Free throws coming for the Hatters. 2:16 left at Freedom Hall. Don't go anywhere. Been a heck of a game so far today.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh. Next weekend mentioned they could come away today tied for first in the A-Sun in the loss column, depending on what happens in the Jacksonville North Alabama game. But Nick, Kennesaw right now 0-7 in the league entering the day. So, and Bellarmine could be in really good position if they can hang on.
Yeah, I think this was a huge game for Bellarmine today to be able to continue that momentum where if we get 2 at home again, that's 4 in a row. Then we're going to play at Kennesaw, who has been towards the bottom of the standings, and maybe you can pick up 2 more there. And then, like you said, you're in really good shape and feeling pretty good about your team and where you are at the point in the season.
Josh Smith, 1 out of 2. What a day for him. 22 points. He's 2 rebounds from a double-double. But Bellarmine has a 6-point lead with under 2 minutes to go.
We'll see if they get something with Penn or Bradshaw driving and either getting over the rim or kicking.
4 to shoot. Claycomb has to let it go.
Dead hands by Jones late in the clock. That's a big 3 by Claycomb.
Everything going right in the second half for Bellarmine. Claycomb now with 18. Stetson finds Smith wide open for the lay-in, and a timeout, Hatters. We'll keep it here. Bellarmine with a 7-point lead, 1.5 minutes to go. And you got to figure we're going to see some full court pressure here from the Hatters.
And possessions, and hope Bellarmine will miss a couple free throws and give you an opportunity.
Stetson does have 1 foul to give, by the way, so they have to foul twice to put Bellarmine at the line. A chance to be really aggressive here. That's looking to inbound it. And he has to take a timeout. So Bellarmine couldn't get it inbounds. The Hatters have 1 timeout left. The Knights now with 2 remaining after taking that one. Back on the floor. Doesn't want the other side to get a timeout. Interesting strategy there. Third career double-double tonight for Pedro. Bradshaw, the long pass to Penn, who got behind everybody, and there's the punctuation. I'll say that was off of Bellarmine. Thought there might have been a foul there that wasn't called. They give the ball to Stetson.
Great play by Bellarmine to run the home run play after you couldn't get the ball inbound. You call a timeout. You quickly go right back to the court, run home run, and get a dunk. It looks like they're going to look to see if this ball was off Swenson's knee.
Yep, that's exactly what they're going to look at. I thought there might have been a little contact. that wasn't called, and now there's a chance Stetson's going to get a tough end of this because there maybe wasn't a foul, and now it could be called off of them.
This is a huge call for Stetson. If they don't get this ball, it's going to be tough for them to make up the deficit. And what a half for Bellarmine. Go into the half down 16, lead grew to 20. All of a sudden you see yourself up 9, so you flipped it by 29 points in a little less than 18 minutes. And just the same exact story was last night, where Stetson got up, Bellarmine was a little sluggish on offense, came out the second half, and just put it in another gear, and same story 22 hours later here at Freedom Hall.
Yeah, down 7 at the half last night, Bellarmine. Down 16 at the half today. Trailed by 20 early in the second half. Completely turned it around. The Knights have outscored the Hatters 46-21 in the second half. They're going to keep it Stetson ball. 24 to shoot for the Hatters. We have a break. Longtime Bellarmine fan. Hardly ever misses a game. Missing one today, Jim Wilberding. Congratulations to he and his wife Sharon. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to them today. They'll be watching this one a little bit later. Wanted to make sure we got that in there. And there's an offensive foul. It's on Perry, who's had a tough day. His first foul.
Anything that could go wrong this last 10 minutes for Stetson has gone wrong.
It is pretty remarkable, as you talked about, how it's been the same story both days. Just the halves completely flipping, and Bellarmine trying to dig out of a hole and get a win again. They trailed by as many as 10 last night and won by as many as 20 tonight. On their way to a win is Penn with the reverse.
I still think Stetson's in a little shock. All of a sudden you're up 20 and now you find yourself down double digits.
Bradshaw comes out with it again. We'll see if the Hatters foul. They're trying to, and they finally call it. Swenson and Jones both there, fouling Ethan Claycomb. They call the foul on Stefan Swenson, his second. And Bellarmine 48 seconds away from its 4th straight win and from a 4-2 mark in A-Sun play. That guy was the story last weekend. Ethan Claycomb for the Knights, the A-Sun Player of the Week. He's had a nice day today as well. That is 19th point. And Pedro Bradshaw has been the story for Bellarmine in this one.
I think if you ran out for dinner and Stetson was up 20 and you come back and all of a sudden Bellarmine's up 12, you're wondering if you're watching the same game. It looks like now both coaches have got a technical foul, and Coach Jones is working the ref for the last couple of minutes, and I think he had that one coming.
He just said thank you. He was, I think, earlier in reminding the officials that they're allowed to call technicals the other way, and I think he got one himself as C.J. Fleming misses the first free throw. Fleming.
And I think this weekend is big for Bellarmine to say, last week we won 2 games. Are you for real or not? Now you come back. You were picked 8th or 9th, depending on which poll you looked at the preseason for Bellarmine. They're playing the number 3 preseason ranked team, Stetson. You get 2 wins, and I think you kind of told the rest of the A-Sun that Bellarmine's arrived.
Stetson able to hang with it there and get the bucket. Now, final 30 seconds. And timeout call by Bellarmine. So the Knights take time to keep the possession. Each team with a timeout left. 20. Yeah, that guy, here he is with an enormous second half and an enormous game today. His 3rd career double-double.
And he's done it for all 3 levels. He's got to the rim, he's hit the floater, he hit a couple big threes late that helped close this deficit.
17 points and 12 boards for him. 1 to shoot, and Bradshaw tried to keep his toes on the ground, but didn't. Stetson gets it for the final 4 seconds. Another boisterous Freedom Hall crowd that got into it at the end. That bank shot won't go. And Bellarmine has won its 4th consecutive game. The Knights improved to 4-2 in the A-Sun in their first year in the league. They sweep Stetson, a 76-60.